Hey guys, this is Austin, and today we are building the ultimate 13-inch MacBook Pro, and huge shout out to LastPass for sponsoring this video. So you might be wondering why we're using the 13-inch MacBook as opposed to a 15-inch when we're trying to build the ultimate laptop, but a lot of it actually comes down to this. So this is a line dock, and inside what we're finding here is not only an additional battery, but additional storage, additional ports, and it's all meant for the 13-inch. So this guy started out as an Indiegogo, and it's just starting to ship. But inside, what we're going to find is something that actually looks a lot like a MacBook. So the idea here is to give you a bunch of the functionality that you would normally expect on, for example, older MacBooks with, more than 4 ports. So there's going to be a ton of ports that are going to be added, including USB-C. We've got 2 USB 3.0 on this side, SD card reader, as well as on the other side, we've got HDMI, mini display port, a third USB 3, as well as one more USB Type-C. So it's basically the same size as a MacBook. So if I sort of stack it on top, what I've got here is a little bit of a sandwich. Actually, how does this connect? Oh, what? Oh! For a second, I thought they forgot to put anything else in the box. I think they're taking a subtle hint at the lack of dongles needed with this particular product. There's also an available USB-C magnetic module. So if we open this guy up, what we're going to find is, well, what looks like a little USB adapter, but the whole thing is going to be magnetic. Now, supposedly, this is going to support full USB-C capability, so stuff like data transfer, video, and everything like that. But I've had some questionable luck with these in the past. So maybe I'll try one of the ports on the side? Oh, okay, maybe the back port just doesn't work. So we immediately get charging, and we also have a 256 gig SSD. Okay. So there are different versions of the line dock available, say for example if you don't want so much storage, but the idea here is that if you've got this sort of giant dock thing that goes with the MacBook, you're going to be getting battery, extra ports, SSD, the whole sort of package. While this looks a little bit goofy right now, inside what we're getting is not only that SSD, which is optional, you can go all the way up to a 1 terabyte SSD or not even opt for one in the first place, but on top of that, all of these line docks have 25,000 milliamp hour batteries inside. So it's going to be able to charge at a full 100 watts, more than enough for any MacBook, and in theory could give you basically double the battery life. Now the line dock is going to essentially double the thickness of our MacBook, and as we all know, thicker is better when it comes to building the ultimate ultimate MacBook. Not stupid, I meant ultimate. So that's where some protection for our MacBook comes in. One of the only real issues I've noticed with the line dock is that since it's not actually connected to the MacBook besides with a cable, it actually doesn't really matter what you actually do to it, just as long as you have it connected via USB-C. So that's where this comes in, a very important keyboard protector that also very helpfully reminds you of all the wonderful keyboard shortcuts that I totally don't know at all. But of course, protection is incredibly important. You never know when a sudden gust of wind could blow your MacBook out a window and you need to make sure it survives. Well, that's where this comes in, this giant case that supposedly helps. Is that really how it's supposed to go on? It just looks so weird. Oh, I need to click it until it did that noise. Now it looks much better. Okay, that looks a little bit more like it. If I pull it up, hey, there we go. We've got some real protection for our ultimate MacBook. Excellent. Now, all you need is some protection for your digital life, thanks to LastPass. No, I didn't just include a case so I could get a great segue over to protecting your digital life with LastPass. What I love about LastPass is that it's something I've been paying for myself way before they ever decided to sponsor the channel, and that's for good reason. It is absolutely the best way I've ever found to keep your passwords safe. Now, as we all know, or at least as we all should know, it is a terrible idea to use the same password across several sites. If any of them get hacked or compromised, you're going to deal with the very real potential of someone being able to hack into other sites based on just using the same password that you used over and over and over again. LastPass takes security seriously. Not only do they do all of the encryption of your passwords on your device so you don't have to worry about things being unprotected sitting on their server somewhere, but on top of that, if you lose your password, that's it. LastPass has no ability to be able to unlock your vault or to do anything to sort of open up your passwords. Now that might sound like a bad thing, but in reality that means that not even LastPass can get access to your data, and I think that that is a very, very good thing. If you're not using a password manager to not only generate unique passwords for every single site you visit, but also to keep them all safe and secure behind a solid vault, then LastPass is absolutely what you need. And of course, if you guys want to check it out and help support the channel, the link will be in the description. There's free and paid versions, but regardless, protect yourself online and download LastPass now. Of course, when it comes to building the ultimate MacBook, a single display is not going to be enough. So that's where the LG 5K Ultrafine comes in. So with a single Thunderbolt 3 cable, we're going to be able to not only get that full 5K video signal, but we're also going to be getting 3 USB-C ports on the monitor, and we're going to be getting an 87-watt charge from the monitor into the MacBook, which is helpful, especially when we have the line dock, which can also charge the MacBook. So we should be good on power. Now this is starting to look a little bit ridiculous. However, it is by no means ultimate just yet, which is where this comes in, a laptop vertical dock for 2 laptops. So with this, we can drop the MacBook in as well as the line dock at the same time. Next up, we have a keyboard. So this is going to be the DOS Keyboard Ultimate, which not only is going to be able to take advantage of some of the USB ports on the line dock, but it's also going to give us a fully mechanical keyboard that is meant to be used on Mac. We also have the Logitech MX Master 2S. So this guy is going to be using Bluetooth, and now we're getting a little bit closer. However, even this is still not going to be anywhere near enough ports for the ultimate MacBook, which is where the CalDigit TS3 Plus comes in. This is going to be a Thunderbolt 3 dock, which is going to be giving us extra functionality and, well, to be totally honest, even more ports that we're probably not going to actually use. All right, that's actually not going to be too crazy. So what we're getting with this is not only a bunch more USB ports, we're also going to be getting a second Thunderbolt 3 port so we can daisy chain with the monitor, but we're also going to be getting some other stuff that even the line dock doesn't include, such as Ethernet, another SD card reader if we want to do 2 at the same time. Look, I just wanted this dock and I figured it'd be cool. Don't judge me, I just thought it would be really ridiculous. So we need to plug in the Thunderbolt 3 cable from the computer. It's going to go into the dock, and then we're going to plug the Thunderbolt 3 cable from the monitor also into the dock. And then actually what we can do is we can plug the line dock into the USB Type-C cable on the dock. Oh, hey, wait, okay, hang on. Okay, that looks good. So if I close the MacBook up, we should have everything on one display. There we go. And then I can set it right here. I have my mouse, I have my keyboard. So you guys might have caught a little video I did recently trying to game on a Mac. And in doing so, I bought this external GPU from Gigabyte, which is actually going to be really tiny and yet does connect over Thunderbolt 3. So, if I get a couple more cables going here. So with our final Thunderbolt 3 cable, which will be plugged directly into the MacBook, we're going to have a full Radeon RX 580. Now, when you clicked on this video, I promised you the ultimate MacBook, but what I've actually delivered is a really, really bad idea. And so it is time to fully test the ultimate 13-inch MacBook Pro. Now to get the ultimate performance, because of course this is the ultimate setup, we also have a secondary display, this time a 1080p 144Hz panel, which is going to be plugged directly into the GPU. Because you know, of course, the last thing we want is some kind of performance bottleneck. And it all technically works. Nothing has crashed, nothing has stopped working yet. So Fortnite decided not to work on us, and instead of reinstalling the entire game and trying again, next we have Rocket League, which I will have you know works completely perfectly on the ultimate MacBook with no issues at all, basically. No, we're playing 1080p high, and which shouldn't be a really big surprise. With that RX 580, we have plenty of horsepower, even considering that we are running a dual-core CPU. And at the same time, even though it doesn't really matter, we also have a 5K monitor, and like, actually how many ports do we have? 9, 10, 11, 12 USB-A ports, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 USB-C ports, 1 additional Thunderbolt port plus 2 more that are free on the MacBook, 2 HDMI ports, we have a display port, we have a mini display port, and then we also have 3 more display ports on our GPU, Ethernet, optical audio, headphone jack, and we have a 25,000 milliamp hour battery and a 256 gig SSD and a full RX 580 external GPU. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there are also 3 extra USB-C ports on the back of the Thunderbolt display for a grand total of 10. So hopefully you guys found building the Ultimate MacBook Pro to be very informative, very useful when you're with your own MacBook building projects. What, is it just me who does this?